Hi everyone, Monica here. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we will talk about another Winter 24 update, another Winter 24 element that Salesforce has given us, and that is transform element. So with transform element, you can just map your data from source object to target object. We will talk about it later. First, let me just show you what are we going to do today. So this is our flow that we are going to work on today. In this flow, we are cloning all the records, but here's a catch, without using any loop or assignment element. Okay, in this flow we are asking the user, are you sure you want to clone all the records? If the user clicks on next, the flow will work, the transform element will map the data, and all the accounts will be cloned. Okay, let me just show all the accounts list to show you how many accounts are there right now. And let's open all the accounts. So we have 20 items here. Now let's just clone all the accounts and see if the 20 count increases to 40. Okay, let's click on next. It says well done and finish. Let's go to accounts and refresh it to see the magic. Now as you see, we have 40 items here. We have 2 items of all the accounts. That is the flow that we are going to create. But remember, what is the interesting part? That we are not using any loop and assignment element here. So to see how we can do that and achieve that just using the transform element, let's go to setup very quickly and create a new flow. Okay, now before going forward, let me just take you through the Salesforce release note that they have given us for the transform element beta version. Okay, so what is this element all about? With transform element, we can transform collection of data between flow resources. Now what does that mean is we can bring data from outside of Salesforce and add it to our target data, our target object in Salesforce. We can get data from using the action element and using the HTTP callout method, and then we can build a flow that fully integrates data outside Salesforce without any code. Okay, so previously what we used to do is we used to build flows that includes loop element and the assignment element, but now we can do it all with the transform element when transforming data in screen flows, auto launch flows with no trigger, and record triggered flows. Okay, so for example, let's take today's example for cloning records. We are going to use the transform element, but before that, if you go to my channel, I have a video for cloning records a year and a half ago maybe, and in that I'm using the loop and assignment element. So why today's example is same as that? Because I wanted to show you the difference between that flow and this flow that we are going to take. Let me just open the previous flow that I have created earlier. So you see, this is the flow that I have created earlier. As you can see, the last modified date is 2 years ago. So before, I have used the same example for cloning the records, but the method is very different. I have taken a screen element and then got all the accounts, looped through the accounts, for each item adding it to an account record, then to a collection of records, and then at the end of the loop I have created all the accounts with the help of the collection record that I have used here. So that is the same example, but you see in today's flow you will see it more sorted. You will see less elements, and you will see we have cut off all of these 4 elements of using loop and assignments and then create records. Okay, so now let's start creating today's flow and let me show you the difference. Let's click on the new flow button. We are going to create a screen flow and we are going to ask the user if they want to clone all the records. Let's take a screen flow, and here's the screen. Let's take a display text, and here we will simply ask the user if they want to clone all the accounts. Let's change the color and make it bold and keep it in the center. Okay, let's click on done. Now we will take get records element and we will get all the accounts first I will show you how to clone all the accounts, and then I will show you how to use data table to select some accounts and then clone only those accounts. For now, we are not adding any condition and taking all the records. Okay, now comes our transform element. Type transform here, and you can see we have our transform element here. When you click on it, first we will add the name and description, map accounts. Okay, and here you see we have two options, source data and target data. With source data we mean the data we want to clone, and with target data means the object we want to clone the data into. Okay, so in our case both the objects are same, but in your case the objects can be different. You can map your cases to opportunity, you can map your leads to contacts and accounts, you can do anything. uh, let's add our source data here, which is get accounts. Once you select your source data, you see you will have all the fields from the account. Okay, we have some limitation and considerations, so I will really highly recommend that you just read this, and with that you will read all the limitations, considerations. Like the one I can tell you here is the read only fields are not visible here because there's no use of mapping the read only fields. Okay, also you cannot map the related records, like if the contacts that are related to accounts, you cannot map them here. So there are some consideration for this element, but nonetheless let's add the target data here. So for the data type we have two options, record or apex defined. We will choose record. Okay, now in this case you can clone either one account, okay, and you can clone multiple accounts. But if you have a record collection here, make sure you select this so you have a record collection here. If we would have chosen only the one record in the get accounts, okay, then we will not select this checkbox. But now we have the collection, so we will select this here, and in the object we will select account and done. As we click on done, you see we have all the accounts fields here as well, right? Now let's just map the fields. Let's map account number to account number, active to active. All the fields that you want to map, that you want to take data to your target object, you can add here. Okay, once again, let's just delete this one. For billing city, I will choose billing city. Country will be country. I'm not adding all the fields, otherwise it will take a lot of time. I will just add the required and the necessary fields here. Okay, let's say account name and account owner should be same. So we will just add the account owner and map it here. Let's add website, year started. I think everything else is good. So this looks good. Let's click on done. Now we have mapped both our accounts, so we are ready to clone our records. Now what we will do is we will just take a create record element and we will write create accounts. And here we will choose multiple because we have a collection, and for collection you see we have a get record collection and we have a map accounts collection, so we will choose the map account one and done. And here's your flow, simple, sweet and very easy to understand. Okay, now let's do one thing just to make it similar to the old one. We will add a display text here which would say well done maybe. Okay, and let's just add the screen name and we are good to go. Okay, so this is the flow ready to be executed and ready to clone all the accounts. Now let's just save it. Clone accounts, and we will activate it. Now to see the results, let's add this to our home page. flow, and here. So flow is here, clone account, no, very good. Let's save it, activation, and this is done. Okay, so let's start cloning our accounts. Let's click on next, and it says well done. Let's go to our accounts and see if we have our cloned accounts here. Okay, so as you can see, we have cloned account of every account. You can see all accounts have 2 accounts now. Okay, so our flow worked fine. Let's go down and see if we have 40. Yes, we have 40 accounts. So all the 20 accounts were cloned successfully. Okay, let's just open our flow now here, and let's compare it with our flow in which I have used loop and assignments. Let me open that for you as well. Here's the flow that we have created before using loop elements, looping through all the accounts, and then assigning it to values, then creating an account. And instead of that, in today's video, we have used just the transform element in our flow, and we have simply cloned all our accounts. Okay, so you see what difference this element is making right now, but this is just a simple example. We have a lot that we can do with this element. Now let's go to another step, and let's do one thing. Instead of cloning all the accounts, let's ask the user if they want to clone a particular account or few particular accounts. Okay, so in this screen, instead of asking are you sure you want to clone all the accounts, we will show a data table here, account records, and let's show our accounts here. In configure rows, we will choose the row selection mode as multiple, and in column, let's add the account name here. Okay, and that is it. I think name would look fine, and the user will know which account they want to clone. Okay, and let's cut this and paste it here. First we will get all the accounts, then we will show all the accounts in the data table. After that, now in the source data, what we will do, we will delete this. Let's just delete this as well, so we don't get any error. Now here for source data resource, instead of getting the get records element, we will use the data table dot selected rows. Okay, so we will use the data table components, and because we want to clone multiple records, that's why we will use selected record, selected rows, which is record collection. If you just wanted to clone the first record, then you can choose this one. Okay, again this is a record collection, so for target data we will use the allow multiple values and click on done. Now you have to do the same thing that you did here, just adding the main fields here. Let's go to name, and owner ID, that is it. Let's just not add all the fields. Let's close it, and create account will be same. We have taken the map accounts, and success screen will be same as well. Let's just quickly save this, and I will show you what is the difference here. Let's activate and refresh it. Okay, so this is the flow. Now instead of that message, we are showing here the data table of all the 40 accounts we have. Okay, now let's just add few accounts and clone them again. Let's choose edge communication, and Dickinson PLC. Okay, don't forget these accounts already have two accounts for them because we have cloned all the accounts. Okay, now they will have three accounts of this name. Okay, let's just choose two and click on next to see if these, it says well done, that means the flow worked fine. Let's go to all accounts list again and see if we have new two accounts. Yes, we have, but let's just sort them by name and select all the accounts. Now for Dickinson PLC, we have the third account, and for Edge Communication as well, we have the third account. So that is how the flow works, that is how the transform element works. And if you want to clone few records from a multiple data table, you can do that. If you want to clone all the records, you can do that. This is just an example of how you can cut down the use of loop and assignment element and just looping through all the accounts and then assigning it to the new account. Instead, you can use the transform element and you can clone all the accounts directly. This is just one use case. You can make it to multiples. Like, let me just give you an example or use cases that you can try out by yourself. If you want to convert few of your cases to opportunity, you can do that. If you want to convert your lead to account, contact, or opportunity, you can do that. One more use case that I found useful was if you want to get data from HTTP callout, like outside of Salesforce, and then add it to any Salesforce object, any target object, then you can do that as well. In this example, we have just simply used two same objects, but that is not what this transform element is all about. You can use multiple objects, like different objects, from one object to another object. You can put data very easily just by mapping the fields that you feel like appropriate and are of same data type. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. That's it, that was today's example. I hope you found this useful. I will see you soon with a new update or a new feature of the winter 24 update. Till then, bye bye, take care, and please remember, keep learning.